Okay, so in this video we're going to be going over the next 3 core double bow techniques. I think I said 4 techniques before. There's one technique, I rewatched the original tape. We're not going to be doing that technique just because of how difficult it is. It's not necessary for the form, so I know you're wanting to compete with this form at state, so we're not going to worry about it. So there's 3 techniques. The only one that's in the form is the first one, the one that I'm about to do. The other 2 are good for skill building, but if you're really feeling like you're pressed for time, you could skip them. So the first one is called the pull apart, so I'll just demonstrate it real quick. Okay. That's all it is, okay? It's the simplest of the 3. So here, starts off with a right helicopter strike. So starting here, this is a little different than how it starts in the form. We're just not going to add that first part yet. So I'm just at a 45-degree angle to the left in a left foot square stance. My bows are going to be on the left hip. This is where they'll be in the form, so I would worry more about where the hands are or where the bows are to start with. Then I'm going to turn to the right, 45, and then I'm going to do my strike. So if you don't know what a helicopter strike is, basically, I'm just bringing the bow up. This works just the same with a single bow. I'm going to bring this up. I'll shift my stance. And then I'm just going to rotate. Very simple. So I bring it up, rotate. I'm leading with the right hand. Okay. So I've done my helicopter strike. Then I'm going to do a reverse helicopter strike. So I'm going to bring it back up and over. So I'm still leading with the right hand. And then for the pull apart, I'm pulling on the bottom bow and I'm shifting my stance. The shift is more for effect than anything as far as the footwork. But for the pull apart, so the key to this one is I want to keep my fingers on each bow. So with the right hand, I'm keeping my fingers on the top one. And with the left hand, I'm keeping my fingers on the bottom one. I'm pulling on the bottom bow. So if I keep my grip super tight, I'm not going to be able to pull it. So I want to keep my grip just a little bit looser at the palms, and I want to keep my fingers tight so I can pull them apart. Okay. If you find, when we add this in the form, that you don't really get it super far, it's not really going to affect the movements afterwards at all. I mean, it does look cooler if you have it pulled farther apart and you're doing all these twirls and whatnot with them. It doesn't affect the movements at all. I would say be careful that you don't pull it apart too far. Pull it too far, you'll find it'll be harder to keep control of them because your hands are farther apart. If you pull it way too far, it'll just fall right out of your hand. So I gotta kind of find that happy medium somewhere. So here, do my helicopter strike, reverse helicopter strike, and then pull apart. See right there, that would probably be just a little bit too far. Let's say a little closer. Okay. Here, 1, 2, 3. More time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That was the pull apart. So out of the 3, like I said, that's the one that you absolutely have to practice. Okay. The second one is called the double pull apart. This one would be good to practice too. Like I said, it's good for skill building, and I think this one isn't super complicated. So since you guys are not all that experienced, I would say that you would benefit from practicing it, but again, you don't have to. So it starts in the same spot as the last one, the single pull apart. So 45, left foot forward, bows on the left hip. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to do that first helicopter strike, same as before. Then I'm going to do what's called a butterfly pass over my head. So basically, bows are going to come over my head. There's a spin in here. I'll do that. I'll add that in a second. So here, it's basically 3 grip shifts. So right now, my hands are opposite. So my left hand, if I have the bow just straight out from me, my left hand is palm either down or palm away. My right hand is palm up or pointing towards me. So in the air, so like while I'm spinning my bow over my head, it's gonna be 3 grip shifts. So I'm gonna shift my right, then I'm gonna shift my left, and then the right. So my hands are gonna end like this. So both hands palm down or away. So here, it's gonna be, so I'm gonna add the spin. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3. And then I get to the front. Okay. So I'll demonstrate the whole technique. Probably should have done that before, but I'll demonstrate the whole technique, then I'll keep breaking it down. That would be the double pull apart. So, got my helicopter strike. Okay. Again, that's the same as before. I'm still at a 45-degree angle on this. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. As I do that, my spin is basically going to be the same as it was in a lot of the other techniques in the first part, like the first 4. Except at the end of my spin, I'm going to be facing forward instead of facing this way at an angle. So this front foot, the right foot, is down here, just like before. And then from here, it's like back leg becomes front leg. And then you're going to drop to a knee. So your right leg is going to be on the ground. So it's just here, just like that. You're doing that as you do the butterfly pass. So I've done my strike, or my helicopter strike. 1, 2, 3, drop. And then you're going to tuck your head, almost as though you're about to do like a back fall or a side fall. You're going to tuck your chin, the bows are going to come up behind your head. And then from here, you're going to pop up your right leg is going to come in. And as you do that, your head's going to pop up and you're going to pull the bows apart. So it'll be here, just like that. I'm going to try to get all that at the same time. Really want it to snap. Okay. So full technique. Here, 1, 2, 3, drop, and out. Okay. So a couple of tips on the butterfly pass. From here, the full butterfly pass is with the 3 grip adjustments. So 1, 2, 3. You get it there, mine's a little off, but you want to try to have it so that way your hands are about the same distance away from center, so you see where my grips are. My hands are, in this case, are like right on the edge of the grip. So when you pull them apart, your hands are on the same spot on both staffs. That's what you want to go for. It's going to take some practice, but if I have it here, 1, so maybe that right hand's going to come in the middle, left would be like near the end, and then the right, third one would be closer to the other end. That way they're pretty close to the same. So right hand in the middle, left hand on the end, right hand on the end. It's a good way to do it. If you find that that's giving you too much trouble, this technique will work with only making 1 hand adjustment instead of 3. So from here, I could just do this and grab with this hand closer to the end of the grip, and that would be enough. So I can just go like this and have it work just fine. So either works. So just go here and then pull apart from there. That's easier. So do the full technique a couple times. So helicopter strike, 1, 2, 3, drop, and apart. Okay. One more time. Strike, 1, 2, 3, drop, and apart. Okay. So that's it for that one. This is double pull. So the third one is the toss spin. So this one, I'm going to take a little bit longer to break down because this one is more of a trick than anything. The last one that we just did just involved like switching your grip around a bit, but this one is actually part of the technique is, well, actually both parts, is a toss. So I'll just do the full technique once. So that's the full technique. So the first one was the toss, and the second one would be, that's the spin. Okay. So I guess probably the easiest way to start is to just practice with one bow. So there's a lot of different ways you can practice this before you put it back together. But you start with the left bow. And I guess you'd be starting in like a square stance, left foot forward, facing center. And a simple way you can practice just to start with is just practice, releasing the bow with this hand and then grabbing back onto it. So here, here. You want to try to toss it straight up. Don't bring it towards you, because remember that other bow is going to be coming through. So you don't want to pull it towards you. When you're letting go, they'll hit. So you want to keep it just going straight up and down, best you can, instead of it coming this way when you toss it. Also, you don't want to toss it too high either. Like it's not like this. You want to try to keep it in a small range here. If anything, that might actually be a little too high, but that would be fine. But it definitely shouldn't be going at head level or like above your head. That's not really, kind of takes away from some of the effect. So it's here, up, bring it back down, up, bring it back down. You're just making that gap, so that way that other bow can come through. So you can just start with that. If you want, you can add the other bow in, like when you do that too. So that would probably be where I would start. Just practice this a few times, don't have to do it a lot. Then you add the other bow in. So, and just be clear, you're grabbing both of them in the middle. So you can just practice the first toss. So this right bow is going to come up through this way. And then once it gets to pretty close to your wrist, that's when you release with this one. You're making that gap. So that way that can come through. And then you can just keep practicing that over and over again. Just keep practicing that. Try your best to keep it level. Don't let it dip one way or the other while you're doing the toss, so it'll throw off your catch. Okay. So just try to keep it level with the ground best you can. Okay. So that would be the starting point. Then next you can add. So we've got this. We've got the part where we bring the bow up for the first toss. So now we're going to add the second toss without the spin. So for that, I'll come up for the first one, and then I'm just going to bring this bow right back down through for the second one. And then you would just practice that over and over again. So just bring it up, back down, up, back down, up, back down. Okay. And again, make sure that you're not bringing the bow towards you or any farther away. Farther away, you have to step and reach. If it's too close to you, your bows will hit. So just try to keep it going up, down, like this. So that's probably the second step. Third step would be to add the spin in, and you can practice the spin without the other bow. So you've already got the toss down. So when you do the full technique, when you do that first toss, you might have this bow turn this way a little bit so that you can, get a little bit more speed with this toss instead of just catching it straight down and going into it. You don't really have as much room. So it might be like when you do the technique, you go here, catch it like this, so that way I can go into that spin. So you could probably practice it like that. But you're going to start with the one bow, just practice the toss here, like this. So it should go, was that one rotation, 1.5 rotations? Here, there. You can just practice it like that. And it's okay to just look at it, as you're doing it. You don't have to, lock eyes with the center on this one necessarily. Just here. Don't keep your hand right next to it though, because remember that other bow is going to be coming through. So you want to have a little bit of space here when you do it. Here. So pull your hand back just a little bit and then bring it back. When you make the catch, you're catching palm down, so you're releasing, palm up. It spins, just pulling it straight back. So that way the other bow can come through. Then when you reach out, you're grabbing it palm down again, or palm up. Grabbing it palm up. Here. There. A couple times this way. There. Just like that. You need to have some speed on this spin in order for it to work. Like I can't toss it like that. It's gonna drop before it gets far enough where you can make the catch like you would if you were doing it in a form. So you want to have some speed, but you don't want to, fling it. That's something you got to be careful of. So you want to have some speed, but too much speed will kill you. It's going to be way out of control. There's no shot that you're going to be able to grab it. If you do, it'll be lucky. So something to watch out for. So let's do the whole technique. So start, left leg square stance, facing forward, left bow's on top, or left bow is higher than the right. Right bow is going to come through for the first toss. It'll be up here. And I'm going to do the spin. Okay. From here, something that happened there that actually you could look out for. I noticed I had to reach a little bit too far over here. So make sure that when you do the toss, the bow is horizontal. It's not like, so if I did the toss this way or the spin this way, I don't want it to go like this. To angle, because then it might travel that way. So if you notice, like when I made the catch, I was kind of reaching for it. It still works, but it's just more effort. So here, up, and catch. You might need to turn your shoulders a little bit to make that catch, but that won't be a big deal. So up, catch. Okay. You might find with techniques that are at this difficulty level, you might need to make tiny adjustments on the fly. That'll come with more practice. Like on that one, my toss was a little too low, so I grabbed a little lower and still made it look just as good. So that'll just take a little bit of practice. I'll do it a couple more times. So up, and then spin. Also, you really got to be careful of where this other bow is going. So if it doesn't go through in the right spot, you could hit. So it's another thing that will probably be challenging about this one. You'll have to experiment with. So up, toss. I think when I do that, I'll have to do it one more time to see. So I'm sliding this bow underneath as it does. So I'm going here. This bow is coming underneath this way as I do that toss. Can't come over the top because then it'll hit. It has to be underneath. So that way it doesn't affect the spin at all. Okay, so one more time. So I'm here, toss, and then catch. So I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, first technique, the pull apart, this one. Practice that one, that is a must-have. That technique affects the entire third section of the form. So practice that one. The second one, the double pull apart, be good to practice. I would recommend practicing it, but you don't have to. The third one, with the catch, be good, I guess, but it's not something you have to do. At no point in the form that you'll be doing does the bow ever leave your hand. So you're not doing any tosses or anything super fancy, I guess. So that's just one that you can do. Like if you have, extra time, that's just something extra that you can do. But once you get that first technique down, maybe the second technique, then we'll start going through the